Hello, good afternoon. I'm delighted to be here at the Spanish Heart of Dublin, Instituto Cervantes, to meet Sylvia Thompson. She works in the Irish Times as a journalist, and she has just recently come from a press trip to Galicia organized by the Spanish Tourism Office. Welcome to Instituto Cervantes, Sylvia.
Thank you very much.
So, was it your first time in Galicia?
Yes, it was, yes. I hadn't ever been in that part of Spain before, so it was very interesting to be up in the northwest corner and experience the differences of it than the kind of stereotypical view of Spain.
And do you think that for the Irish Times readers could be a nice area to explore?
Yes, I think with its strong Christian and Celtic heritage, it would be of interest to Irish Times readers. And I suppose we share a lot of that heritage, and people would have some resonances with our own past when they visit Galicia.
What, apart from the Celtic connections, what do you like about Galicia, about Santiago?
I loved Santiago de Compostela. I suppose I had this kind of mythological idea of it as a city, but it's very kind of easy to walk around, and I love all the sort of narrow streets and the little squares and all the discreet shops, you know, the kind of little boutiques and food speciality shops and all the lovely cafes and restaurants. And of course the cathedral. I said in my piece, my travel piece, that the cathedral has a kind of a magnetic draw that's kind of hard to resist, actually. And I did find that myself. The streets all seem to run down to the cathedral, and it's kind of interesting to see that, and obviously to see it full of people as well, the square in front of the cathedral. Yeah.
We are talking about a small city, or is it a big city?
No, I found quite a small city, really. I think it's 120, 130,000, and I believe 1 in 4 of them are students. So there is a kind of a lively atmosphere to the city, and it's kind of, because it's kind of slightly in a valley, you can kind of see the newer city kind of rising up around it as well. So it has a kind of a natural boundary which keeps it small and intimate, really, I think. Yeah, the old city, yes.
That sounds very good. Talking about the way, El Camino, we heard from the pilgrims, but is there only one way to reach Santiago, the final destination? Or there are many ways?
No, there are many. We actually call them caminos here as well. I don't think we call them the way, even though, of course, Martin Sheen's film, The Way, has kind of, spread word of the caminos around the world, in the English-speaking world at least. But no, I didn't realise that myself before I visited, that there are several kind of primitive routes that come down through France and up from Portugal and, even across from Italy. And I found that very interesting, actually, and I can understand why they've become so popular again.
What discovery in terms of cultural sites or gastronomy most surprised you during the course of the trip there? Was there something special?
Yeah, well, I was quite taken with the food, actually, and we enjoyed lots of very interesting 7-course taster menus, which we wouldn't have so much of here, although we do have taster menus here in Dublin as well, and there is a kind of an adventurous spirit, I think, now in the food in Spain, and all the seafood and even the meats, and just people are experimenting a lot more, and I think that's interesting. I was a little bit shocked, though, by the pilgrims' kind of slightly kind of austerity or Spartan sort of facilities that people have to endure in the hostels, and they can't book ahead, and I kind of thought, oh no, I wouldn't really like that. I'd like to know where my bed was going to be. But
that's part of the charm of the El Camino. You don't know what you're expecting, not every
yes,
night.
I suppose, but I think I'd still like my bed booked for the night.
So you were not sleeping in a hostel, I presume?
No, we stayed in a lovely little boutique hotel in Santiago, yes.
Oh, that's great. And can you share with us some of your most important highlights of the journey? Was there something special apart from...
Yes, well, we travelled quite a lot around Galicia. I really liked that little mountainous village called, is it Ocebreiro? Ocebreiro, yes. I thought that was quite charming, and I could imagine people arriving there and walking then kind of for the last stage of their Camino into Santiago. I know it would take several days, but I could imagine them kind of arriving arriving there, and lovely little stone mountainous village, and yes, on the border I think with Leon, is it? On the
Leon.
yes, yeah. And I suppose my absolute highlight, apart from Santiago, was Finisterre. I think to be on the most westerly point of Europe is exciting, actually, and with the kind of strong Atlantic Ocean waves kind of coming in towards the point, and yeah, I found that quite moving, actually, and also the fact that the people who do the Caminos, you extend their walk from Santiago on to Finisterre. I thought that was really special, actually. Yeah.
Oh, thanks very much. Last question, would you recommend Galicia to your friends? Is it going to be your last trip to there? Or?
Well, I'd recommend it as a kind of a short trip, like people who maybe just want to go somewhere a little bit different. They know the big European cities well, and they just want to go somewhere a little bit quieter that still has a lot of character. The weather is a little bit too like Ireland, unfortunately. We were there, it rained quite a bit, but I think it's still got a lot of charm, and it's quite a gentle place to visit. So I would recommend it to some friends who wanted somewhere a little bit kind of more charming, quiet, not the kind of big buzz of a city.
So thanks very much for sharing with you and the Irish Time as well. Thank you very much for sharing your memories and being part of the trip. Thanks very much.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Thank you.